Welcome everyone to Metroid Other M, another game in obviously the Metroid series that is made by Nintendo. So, I actually just recently finished the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption Let's Play, which, that's actually a very different game compared to this one in terms of gameplay. Obviously it's the same series, but this game actually takes place after Super Metroid but before Metroid Fusion, in case you're confused as to what the hell, what actually happens. But yeah, so this game, let's go to options first. Language English, subtitles on, that's perfect. I am done with that. This game is one of the, I want to say, it's definitely not as good as other Metroid games to most people. To me, the point is that it's not the same type of game. That way I can't really compare them. It's good in its own. The gameplay, I would say, yeah, if you go like that, then yeah, okay, I guess it's not as good as Metroid Prime or Super Metroid, but it's a pretty solid game on its own. It really is. Anyway, this game does have a lot of cutscenes and voice acting because it's actually well, I was gonna say it's the newest Metroid game release. No, that would be Samus Returns, and then before that it was actually Federation Force, but that game doesn't count, as you already know. So it's the second to last, or the second newest Metroid game release, so, late Wii title as well, so it's nice. It has some actual, cinematic scenes, which is really nice. This cutscene actually here, displays what actually happened with the battle between Samus and Mother Brain, basically the last, 10 minutes of Super Metroid. And fun fact, that was actually my third ever LP that I did on my channel. Third ever.
Why am I still alive? A baby. Mother, time to go.
Okay, Samus. Everything's normal.
I awoke to the familiar voice of a quarantine officer.
Let's try sitting up, huh? Slowly now.
A dream. I had been reliving the tragic moments of my recent past. Thanks to the hyper beam, which was given to me somehow by the baby, I laid Mother Brain to waste. And the explosion that followed destroyed planet Zebes, along with the remains of Mother Brain, the space pirates, and my long-standing nemesis, Ridley, and the baby.
Come on, Samus. Let's go next door.
Right, let's get started. for a quick test, Samus?
Okay, so we get introduced to the gameplay right now, basically with this little tutorial-like warm-up thing. So, as you can see, the gameplay is extremely different from any other Metroid game we played so far. As you can see, we can move around here, we can jump, but it's all fully 3D. The first thing we need to do is actually target that and hold a charge beam by holding it all the way and then releasing. And that's a charge beam. Here's a few more. So there is a big stickiness in terms of like where Samus actually aims. If I'm pointing like, let's say, this way, obviously, actually even that much, look at that. It really just depends on the situation. Sometimes, yes, if the enemy can be seen easily, all you do is shoot and Samus will actually automatically target it.
Sharp-looking charge beam, just the way I like it. Okay.
One thing I didn't mention is that this is actually going to be a 100% run, in case you're wondering, so I'm going to be getting every single pickup in the game. With the Wii Remote held sideways, press A. Yeah, so this game is played with the Wii Remote only and sideways. Although there are times when you are actually going to go into first-person mode. Deactivate, pressing A again. That's simple, right? It's actually incredibly simple. The controls are very easy to learn. Unlike Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime's a fantastic game and all, and a fantastic series, but if there's one thing, there's a big learning curve to the controls, and I completely understand that. This game, though, it's much different.
Surprised?
Alright, so now we're going to get introduced to the kick climb. Basically, it's wall jumping. You hold towards the wall, and then you jump, and you keep holding that direction while spamming 2. And there we go.
Just like that, Samus. Let's invite some of your pals.
Press 1 to fire your beam. So these right here, I believe, are gamers, or are they zoomers? Well, I don't know. It's one of those. As you can see, they're simple enemies. You just spam your shots, and that's going to be it, you know? And that's it.
Okay, looking good. Let's check your reaction time. Here come some beams. Dodge them.
Alright, sense move. Basically tap the direction of the pad in pretty much any direction that you want, and you will sense move out of the way. This is one thing that you actually need to definitely work on if you are having bad reaction time. You as a player need to react to projectiles, and when you see that, you press any direction on the stick, or it's not the stick, the pad, any direction, and Samus will sense move if you do it with the right timing.
Next, how about a missile test? Use concentration to replenish your missile supply.
Alright, so for concentration, you hold the Wii Remote perfectly straight up, and then you hold the A button to replenish your missiles. You can also replenish your energy if you're extremely low on energy. I'll talk about that later, though.
Find him for me, huh?
Alright, now search view mode. Basically, if you point at the screen, you will go like this into first person. You can shoot, but you can also search for things, like right there. Locked on, and now go ahead and press A to fire a missile once you're locked on. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we gotta beat this guy. I wonder this. Can I actually, like, overblast him? I'll talk about overblasting in a little bit, but I don't remember. Maybe you can. I don't think you can, actually. I'm just gonna keep spamming charge.
Okay, looking good.
No, I don't think I can. Usually you'd be able to overblast enemies, which is a fantastic move to use. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it off. That was sense move right there, in case you saw. Look at that, sense move. One thing I should mention, when you are charging and you actually sense move, you gain a full charge automatically. That right there is also very important to know. Okay, and press 1 when fully charged, you'll launch an attack. That's a lethal strike, which is a little bit different than overblast, but lethal strike is more situational.
How about you try using a power bomb?
So for a power bomb, you go into morph ball and you basically hold 1 and then release when charged, and that is a power bomb.
Allow adequate room around you during power bomb.
Yeah, good point.
Alright, Samus. That's it for the test. Looks like you took quite a bit of damage. It's unbelievable how well you've held up.
I wondered if this too was a result of the power the baby gave me.
Right. You're due in the meeting room. The big dogs are waiting. gave your suit a polish so you'd be at least somewhat presentable.
Not even a fragment. None of the baby remained on me. I knew it to be true, but still couldn't help looking at my palm for a sign. Never again would I encounter the baby. Never. The finality of it struck me once again. Mission completed. The planet Zebes was annihilated, and all Metroids were exterminated. A simple report, almost dull even, but it felt momentous to me. I don't know how much time passed since then. Days went by in their quiet way, and people's recollections of Metroids and space pirates grew nebulous over time, relegated to a past concern of the galactic communities. Nothing more than a faded memory. Codename Baby's Cry. A common SOS with the urgency of a baby crying. The nickname comes from the fact that the purpose of the signal is to draw attention. The signal was coming from a remote part of space. I altered the course of my ship as if this detour had already been part of my flight plan. Baby's Cry. It was as though it was crying specifically for me.
Okay, so there are many times in this game where the game forces you to stay in first person because you have to actually search for something. For first time players, it's actually kind of difficult to find this because some of these things are really well hidden. For example, here, the thing you gotta point at is this little logo right here.
Galactic Federation, huh?
Okay, so we finally get introduced to the game. I mean, aside from that whole little tutorial-like thing, you know, but now we are actually going to be playing the game. So, like I was saying, you basically can move left and right, forward and back, 8 directions. I mean, it's not even 8 directions. It's actually more than that. Yeah, so you can shoot, you can charge, you can jump, you can go into morph ball, lay bombs, as you know. You have missiles. Yeah, so a lot of stuff. Now I'm just going to go ahead and breeze through this place because it's actually pretty simple here early on. Like I was saying, this is going to be a 100% playthrough though. It is, in case you're wondering.
Fancy meeting you here, princess. Remember me?
Anthony. There's only one person who calls me princess. And that person is Anthony Higgs of the Galactic Federation Army.
Haven't seen you since that last mission. Hey, and your buddy's here too.
Adam Malkovich, a general in the Galactic Federation Army. Not only a trusted confidant, but also my former superior officer. Yes, there was a time when I was enrolled in the Galactic Federation Army. And then I was young and inexperienced. As the result of a certain incident, I left Adam's command and set out on my path as a solitary bounty hunter.
What are you doing here?
The first words out of his mouth were typical coming from Adam. To answer his question, I recounted the details of what had brought me to this place, and then I asked what circumstances led the Federation here.
That information is not for an outsider.
The word he so obviously chose, outsider, pierced my heart.
Commander, we're all prepped.
No dice.
I think our only option is to use the laser to slowly burn our way through. This is gonna take a while.
The electrical system here is out, and we can't get the barrier wall to open. We tried using explosives, but it's tricky to pull off without collateral damage. What we need is some way to focus the power onto one centralized location.
Implying the use of missiles. Simply lock on, and then press A once fully locked on, and there we go. And that blasts it.
Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna go on ahead.
Adam hadn't authorized it, but I decided to remain on site for the sake of the others.
Okay, so the way that upgrades work in this game is that Samus actually already has all of them, but it's because of authorization that she doesn't actually use certain things because she's technically an outsider and doesn't want to like intervene with whatever the hell is going on in the ship, you know? So she's only going to be using things once Adam, the commander, you know, actually authorizes certain things. So as of now I have nothing except my Morph Ball. Yeah, Morph Ball and Charge Beam and Regular Beam and Jump. And that's literally it. Alright, so we just gotta tank about some of these things. Oh great. This is gonna be easy though. It's quite easy. Just simply go up to them, shoot them all, and that's it. Alright, so in here, all you basically do is you look at that little thing right there, and oh my god, dude, really? Charge Beam, shoot that, and then actually, look at that. It opens up. Now you can actually jump back and forth through both areas like that. And that's overall pretty simple. Here's a Geemer, or Geemers, I should say more than one. More of these things. In most cases, you actually don't have to beat all the enemies, you can just simply run on through. However, defeating all enemies does actually reveal pickups if there are actually pickups in that room. These are screes, by the way. Oh shit, I'm so stupid. I just let them hit maybe 3 times in a row, man. What the heck? Here I can just... I just let him hit me again. I'm playing so badly, man. Okay, fine. I guess I gotta kill the enemies here. Die. should be able to activate this thing. And it unlocks the door. Nice. And here it's basically a refresher for kick climbing, but we already know how to do that. Let's go up. And now this room actually ended up getting locked. Interesting. Also, can I not grab that right now? No, I can't. I need a bomb. That's a pickup right there. If you take a look at that, let me go ahead and show you. Well, not that. That just says normal bomb. This thing. Ho ho ho. Energy tank, which we don't have any yet. I'm at 45 HP, dude. Seriously? This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Alright, so for this room here, all I can really do is keep jumping all the way up. So many gamers here, by the way, as you can clearly see. I just need to make it all the way to the highest ground possible. And then I think I need to come this way eventually. Yep, there we go. There's a pickup over there which we cannot obtain quite yet. But that is actually a very fantastic upgrade in this game. These are no doubt the best. Okay, I can't even look at it right now. I mean, I could, but screw it. It's an axle charge, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And this here is a navigation booth. Basically, it's a save station, and save rooms in this game do actually fully heal you, just like in Metroid Prime games, but not like 2D Metroid games. Alright, this is the really straightforward pathway, and look at that. We made it again to the group of guys.
He's dead. Someone or something attacked him.
Whoa. Get away from me!
It was obvious that there was some pervasive danger throughout the facility. I didn't know what had brought Adam here, but I did know that cooperation was imperative if we were to restore safety. Adam, listen to me. Clearly, this facility is in complete disorder. It might be too dangerous for your men to go alone. That's why I've...
Look at that.
They're coming out of the wall! Right, stay calm.
Okay, so this here is the first boss of the game. It is the Brugman. So in these situations, right there I just sense move 3 times. You probably didn't realize it, but yes, I'm actually doing all the sense moves. I'm the one dodging that. Like I said, this game, if you don't know how to sense move, oh shoot, that was something telling me to do. Why did I do that? Why the hell did I? Yeah, don't actually stand on it. That was stupid. If you do not sense move, what the hell you actually hit me? What the shit is going on? Oh.
This ain't good! Nothing's working! Listen up! Freeze guns authorized! Damn it! I'm authorizing missile use!
Okay, here's the first ability of the game. Normal missile. You already know, we already used them in training, so yeah, just gonna stop that. Okay. But like I was saying, you actually do need to use a sense move very often in this game, especially for boss battles. All you really are doing here is essentially just waiting for them to freeze their, like the arm or something, I'm pretty sure. I think so. I don't think I'm gonna shoot it, right? Pretty sure I don't have to. I'm just waiting. I believe he gets frozen eventually. I'm not being stupid, right? Actually, no, I get it. Actually. There we go. when you peek in like that, and then they spam their freeze guns.
And freeze that thing. And Samus, you attack the frozen spot.
Once it gets frozen, lock on, fire a missile, and it breaks the arm. Look at that. It's down to one arm now. I still like to shoot it for fun, even though this clearly doesn't work. I just like to have some fun. Don't do that. What are you doing? Suicide. Alright, fire another missile. You gotta fire the initial missile to make him progress by freezing. And then that happens. And then just give it a little bit. Don't spam another missile right away. You do want to actually wait. And then fire another missile. And now they're actually going to be freezing its body. There's a missile. Look at that. Spam your shots on the little thing and it is going to be dead. And there we go. That's it.
Samus, looks like I'm gonna need to ask for your cooperation on this mission, but I'm also gonna have to ask that you follow my commands. You don't move unless I say so, and you don't fire until I say so. Any objections, lady?
The thumbs up sign had been used by the Galactic Federation for ages. Me? I was known for giving the thumbs down during briefing. I had my reasons, though. Commander Adam Malkovich was normally cool and not one to joke around. But he would end all of his mission briefings by saying, "Any objections, lady?" He was joking, but others weren't. At the time, I felt surrounded by people who treated me like a child, or used kid gloves because I was a woman. And yet with Adam, I was grateful for the nod. My past has left me with an uneasy soul, and as a result, it touched me on some level that Adam would acknowledge that past by calling me something delicate, like lady. And I knew more than anyone that every word from Adam was deliberate. My thumbs down was a twofold response. A sign of derision at being called a lady, and a signal of my complete understanding of the mission orders. The other soldiers were always willing to support me with easy smiles despite the fact that I clearly had so much yet to learn. Among them was Anthony. In the face of his well-meaning behavior and that of the other soldiers, my response was to become increasingly bitter. I was a child, always with something to prove, a chip on my shoulder. And I was angry. I felt that if I let my guard down, I would easily be broken. And beyond that, I was scared. But even in the naivete of my youth, I could see in Adam's joking manner how close he felt to me. Adam knows my past, and he knows me better than anyone else. Confession time. Because I was so young when I lost both of my parents, there's no question I saw Adam as a father figure. When I rebelled against him, I knew I could get away with it. And his paternal compassion in the face of my rebellion reinforced the special bond I felt with him. I understood well that chances were slim that I would ever find anyone that understood me like Adam. And yet, when the time came, I still left his side. I was so young. Young and naive.
Exactly what transpired here on the bottle ship is still uncertain. Here's what we do know.
The equipment we thought had been destroyed is operational again. we've seen casualties attributed to an unidentified and lethal creature. The situation is critical. We need to gather all the information we can, but priority one is to find any survivors and bring them to safety. Consider this site extremely dangerous. Be careful as you make your sweeps. And there's one problem. The wireless interference in this facility is all-pervasive. Your comm systems are useless. As a result, communication channels will be limited to the facility's navigation booths. Well then, Lyle, investigate Sector 1 and show a little restraint with the explosives.
Gotcha.
Maurice, you cover Sector 2. Repair any equipment you come across.
Affirmative.
Anthony, you're Sector 3. I'll leave it to you to decide whether plasma guns are called for.
All right.
James, check out the control bridge. Our communication issues might be the result of electrical interference.
Yes, sir.
And KG, run a complete sweep of the residential quarters and investigate any trace of survivors.
Got it.
Each of you is authorized to use a freeze gun. Do not forget to check in regularly via navigation booths. And Samus, you go to the system management room. Do everything you can to get the electrical system back up and running. Looks like your comm system is still functional. Remember, everything you see will also appear on this screen. Regarding auxiliary weapons, the use of bombs has been authorized. As far as your other weapons go, we will continue to investigate and authorize use as we can. However, we currently have no plans to authorize the use of power bombs. As you know, they have the ability to spread a high-temperature heat wave over a large area, impacting living things, which is a nice way of saying they can vaporize humans instantly. You should be well aware of how dangerous power bombs are, and how their devastation can't be obstructed with common materials. Once the mission in the system management room is complete, I need you to report back. I'll give you your next orders then. I want you all to be especially careful as you execute your missions. That's the end of the briefing.
It was the first joint mission I'd been a part of since becoming a freelance bounty hunter. And of course, it was the first time since my Federation days that I was following the orders of a commanding officer. Having received mission orders from Adam, I felt confused and strangely exhilarated at the unexpected turn of events. I responded. Understood, Adam. No objections, of course.
Quite an intro, right? Quite an intro. Alright, so we do actually have normal bombs once again, so that's nice, but we are going to be using that next time because we are out of time. And this pretty interesting first episode with a lot of cutscenes. There are actually going to be a lot less cutscenes later on as we go, but yeah, so if you enjoyed this episode in any way, please be sure to like. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you, and as always, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great and a fantastic day.